What is up, guys? It's your boy Lance back at it again with a new One Punch Man the Strongest guide. Today we are looking at reviewing Geryuganshoop, the rumored strongest Esper in the universe. So let's get on with it, shall we? As an introduction, basically I would describe Geryu as an SSR version of King. King being an LSSR which has a limited time frame. You can actually obtain Geryuganshoop at any point of the game. It's just depending on your luck. And he really shines with his keepsake. Without his keepsake, he only seals 1 energy. With his keepsake, he seals 2, which is similar to King. He also is considerably a good high-speed energy drainer, only losing to King and DSK4 in terms of value for energy, and at the later phases, Watchdog Man. He is quite good for PvP, especially with a speed build. He similarly functions to King, where his main goal is to seal the opponent's energy so that they are not allowed to ultimate as often as they need to. He is amazing in live clash as his keepsake is readily available and it wholly depends on luck. His passive is disgusting in energy seal comp. His passive goes around 40%, so if you have 3 energy seal values, you'll be able to do 120% extra damage to the team, which is considerably high. So his cons, it's hard to get his keepsake in normal mode. We have just passed Geryuganshoop's keepsake, if I'm not mistaken, in Southeast Asia, so he won't be returning anytime soon, and you will only be able to seal 1 energy with his normal ultimate, so it's very underwhelming compared to King. And yeah, this leads up to the main point, which is he's majorly outclassed by King. King is able to heal, King is able to silence, fear / -2 energy, whereas Geryuganshoop is only able to -1 without his keepsake and 2 with his keepsake. So at most he can go even with King, but King's utility is way better, especially since his damage ignores normal tenacity and breaks through the normal shield because it deals extra damage naturally. So, and Geryuganshoop also shines only as a supporter. He's just meant to be there to seal energy. That's it. His damage is slightly underwhelming and it's greatly blocked by tenacity, which is something very common during the Zombie Man meta. So yeah, moving on, let's have a look at his skills. So ability breakdown. His passive is known as Psychokinetic Master. So after his turn, he removes the main target's energy seal, and then every point deducted deals 40% extra damage. So basically it functions similarly to CK's passive, except that instead of needing to be attacked, after he attacks he deals this passive damage. So this is what it looks like. So let me explain the clip for a little bit. So as you can see in the clip, the energy symbol is shown, so he removes the energy down and then he deals a percentage of that as 40% extra damage. So when you upgrade him to 5 stars, you actually turn on his extreme passive, and that increases his extra damage value by 10% per rank. So instead of totaling at 120% extra damage at 3 stacks, which is the highest value of energy seal, when you get Watchdog Man, you get 150. So it's a 30% total spike, but at the base value for 1 and 2, you're only up at 10 and 20%. So it's quite underwhelming unless you're going all the way with Watchdog Man. His basic attack is known as Telekinesis. So he hits a single target for 120% damage and berserks a random ally, boosting their attack by 30%. So this is what it looks like. So there's a keen flaw to this basic attack, which is the berserk mechanism. If he berserks the highest damage dealing ally, it will make this basic attack very good utility wise. But because it berserks a random ally, you have a 1 out of 5 chance to actually berserk a tank or a non-main damage dealer. And that is it's a simple flaw, but it can cause a game actually. Because let's say it berserks your CK instead of your Amai, and your Amai isn't able to take up his intended target. That could be the difference between winning and losing. So moving on, we have His most famous skill that most people will know, the telekinetic shower of rubble. So he attacks the front row, dealing 130% attack and has a 100% chance to seal 1 energy, and the seal does not stack, it only takes the highest value. So if you ult at the same time with King and Geryu, it will take the highest value, which is 2 seal by King. And then when you upgrade it to his Ultra Ultimate, the ult damage is increased by 35%, and his 100% chance to seal turns to 2 instead of 1, so he basically equals King. So this is what it looks like. So moving on, material expense. Limit break wise, you're not recommended to limit break past 4 stars. This is my own Geryuganshoop in Japan. I've left him at 2 stars just for the sake of figurines. At 85 shards and 133 badges, you will obtain a 4-star Geryuganshoop. This is where you unlock the 200 energy gauge points, which is needed for you to actually ultimate more in your team. He's mostly played as a niche pick. I know 1 or 2 players who actually use Geryuganshoop quite often, but they're only in live clash, which is Chowin. Shout out to Chowin from the Discord server. And personally, I feel DSK 4 is better because it doesn't consume energy, or if you need an energy sealer, King is the best. Or in C, if you need a better energy sealer, get Washed Up Man down the road. Awakening. Investing into CK or other LSSRs is a better option. I do not recommend you to awaken Geryuganshoop. His keepsake is available very late. It's one of the last keepsakes to be released in Southeast Asia. So I recommend you not to 5-star him. I apologize for the background noise because my neighbor is doing some construction work. So please bear with it. Additional information. For gear set, I would recommend 2 attack and 2 attack speed. You can also go for attack speed as well if you really need him to be very fast. But with Monk set, it doesn't feel so bad because you get a passive 10% bonus. For Knight set, I recommend 2 attack and 2 attack speed because you're going to need him to do some damage anyway. You cannot just have someone speedy just ulting and not doing any damage at all. So talent, as I said, he's a very niche pick. I couldn't even do a meta analysis for this video because I couldn't find anybody who actually uses Geryuganshoop regularly aside from live clash. So nobody knows what his talent is. Some people speculate it's True Strike. Similarly to his brother Geruribas. Other than that, we do not know. So if you do know Geryuganshoop's talent tree, the major skill right at the bottom, drop it down in the comments. Sigils, I don't recommend you open his talent, but if you want to, Sharp Sword and Vitality can never go wrong. You can also go with Ultimate Reduction. That's also pretty good. Buff gears, I recommend 3 attack. I actually don't recommend you to buff gear him at all, but if you want to, 3 attack is the best. These are my buff gears for Geruribas, but I would build Geryuganshoop in a similar way. Now, major issues. Geryuganshoop is very niche. What do I mean by niche? That means very small percentage of the population uses Geryuganshoop regularly. And I'm not looking at like a 1%, I'm looking at a 0.5 to 0.25% of the population actually use Geryuganshoop. The main reason is his main contender being King. King is just a better overall version of Geryuganshoop. He also requires his keepsake to be complete. Unlike King, King does not require his keepsake to seal 2 energy, but Geryu does. So this brings me to my point that King essentially does a better job. Overall, King is an upgrade compared to Geryuganshoop. That's why nobody really gives too much care towards Geryu, just because that King exists. If King did not fill this role very well, I think Geryuganshoop will be able to conquer the meta. He's also considerably strong in live clash, but only in live clash. I've seen a few niche picks where Geryuganshoop actually makes or breaks a fight, but other than that, it seems like even he is struggling to keep up with the meta teams, especially Zombie Man, because he's able to generate so much energy starting round 2. So it's pretty disgusting. And he's also a very underwhelming option. What do I mean by underwhelming? So his damage is on par with Geryuganshoop, but Geryuganshoop's utility comes from his dot, his acid, whereas Geryuganshoop only seals 1 energy and does some extra damage. You already have extra damage dealers like CK, or you already have better Espers like Geryuganshoop himself, Tatsumaki, King. I would say Geryuganshoop is around the same level of usefulness as Fubuki, just because they are both, even though one is an SR, one is an SSR, Fubuki is actually better because she can AoE 6 and she's allowed to crit more. So during CE time, more people were using Fubuki than Geryuganshoop because it actually has a higher chance to crit compared to Geryu. So in my opinion, he's a very underwhelming option. I'm not saying he's bad, I'm just saying that you need to invest unholy amounts of resources into Geryuganshoop to make him good. But do you really want to invest that much into a character when you can invest 3/4 of that into a different character such as Tatsumaki and get a better result? Tatsumaki, without her KS, although underwhelming, still performs way better than Geryuganshoop. And that is just a fact. There are tiers between the SSRs as well as the SRs, but there are tiers within SSR itself, and Tatsumaki stands at the apex of non-LSSR Espers. The only other character that I would say that can contend in terms of Esper utility within the normal SSR ranking would be Geryuganshoop as well as Malzagard. Malzagard, in terms of utility, he's a very good tank, but outshined by Super Alloy. Geryuganshoop is a one-of-a-kind Esper, and I would say that he stands at the apex together with Tatsumaki. So I'm so sorry if the video was not to your liking. I've tried my best to do this. There's not much information I could actually pull from Geryuganshoop, just because, as I said, it's a very small, it's a very niche character. The sample size which I've tried to find is very hard to find actually. It was very hard asking people for information just because that nobody really used Geryuganshoop. I hope this video has enlightened you in some way. I always take criticism as well as I can, so please let me know down in the comments if you're happy or unhappy with certain things. I'm sorry I could not provide a meta-analysis in this video. It's just I couldn't find anyone to actually help me to do it. And personally, I do not train Geryuganshoop myself, so I cannot actually tell you that Geryuganshoop is good if I don't use him, right? That's just being unfair and I'm not being transparent. So I hope that this video has helped you in some way. Although it's very short, stay tuned for my Goketsu video on Tuesday. Till then, I hope you guys stay safe, stay well, especially my peeps in Malaysia. We're going to be a rough ride now. MCO might be extended, I'm not too sure. So to my peeps in Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, do stay safe. Make sure you're always following the SOPs. Till we meet again, peace.